Hello, fellow mech warriors, Mage Leader here. Welcome back to the Battlemech Primer, where I look stuff up and then pretend that I knew it all along. No, your eyes do not deceive you. And what I assure you is not a desperate attempt to stay relevant in a world where nearly a dozen channels make better Battletech videos than me. I have decided at long last to cover a clan mech. Yes, I am going to dive into the nonsensical world of clanner history to try and bring you the story of one of their machines. But before I do, I should hand out a quick disclaimer. Clan history is a strange topic. It's kind of like your mother in that it relies mainly on oral tradition. Everything clanners do is steeped in pseudo-religious hoo-ha and is probably being told by someone who's more interested in smearing the other clans than he is in providing accurate information. Because clanners can't so much as take a shit without turning it into a fucking contest. I won that Taco Bell batch all, by the way, and Eric Kabrinsky of Clan Ghost Bear still owes me 50 C-bills. Anyway, my point is that Battlemech history works a little differently in the homeworlds than it does here in the Inner Sphere. As such, I will be keeping this brief and providing what information I can based on what my numerous bondswomen have told me and what I could piece together by reading between the lines. As such, please take this account with a grain of salt, and let's dive right in. Today, we're talking about the Mad Dog. Yes, I'm calling it the Mad Dog. Look, clanners and spheroids can't agree on anything. No matter what I call it, half of you are going to spurg out in the comments over it. You want to know how I choose which name to use for clan mechs? Whichever one I think sounds cooler. And Mad Dog sounds cooler than Vulture. Suck my dick. Whatever you call it, the Mad Dog was first developed in 2963 by Clan Smoke Jaguar. It was based on the design of the Lupus, a heavy omni-mech designed by Clan Coyote, though my personal Smoke Jaguar janitor maintains that it was wholly original, while my Wolf Chambermaid insists that it was built out of spare Mad Cat parts. Whatever the case, Smoke Jaguar wanted to throw their hat into the Omni-Mech ring, and because the last two Omnis were both given canine names, those being the Lupus and the Mad Cat... Wait, Mad Cat isn't a dog name. Oh, right. Clanners call it the Timberwolf for some stupid reason. Smoke Jaguar decided to follow the trend, but to do it ironically. As an insult, apparently. I don't really get it, but hey, it's clan speak. It's about as comedic as your average skin graft. Don't let the nonsensical origin story fool you, though. The Mad Dog is one serious piece of kit. It comes standard with a pair each of large pulse lasers, medium pulse lasers, and LRM-20s, and keep in mind that these are the clan versions of these weapons, which means that as a general rule they weigh less and hit harder through the use of bullshit space magic. The Mad Dog can and will fuck up your entire military campaign if you let it. The mech was an instant hit when it rolled off the assembly line, but like most clan mechs, it wouldn't really find itself meaningfully tested until the invasion of the Inner Sphere. Most clan mechs are built for honor duels and batch-all nonsense more so than actual frontline combat, but when your lasers are objectively better than the centuries-old equipment your opponent is fielding, those details don't tend to matter nearly as much. Fortunately for the clans, and by extension Inner Sphere armies who would salvage it, the Mad Dog is surprisingly well designed. Its shape gives it a narrower profile than most mechs of its weight class, making it more of a challenge to land the killing blow. It has a top speed of 86.4 kph, which makes it fairly swift for a 65-tonner, and its complement of weapons ensures that it's dangerous at any range. While in actual human hands, meaning Inner Sphere hands, it tends to find its home in the fire support role, it can do other things just as effectively. You can build the Mad Dog into a close-range brawler with ease, especially if you have access to other Omnipods. When the Mad Dog first entered Inner Sphere territory, it mostly did so on the Kiritan front, though Clan Ghost Bear also fielded it quite heavily in the Free Rasselhog Republic. In both theaters, it performed very well, with the machine making quick work of most Inner Sphere opponents. Most who encountered it in the field didn't live to tell about it, but those who did gave it a name. Hagataka, or Vulture if you speak the correct language. Theories as to why the name was chosen vary wildly, with some claiming that it looks like one. An interesting theory, but allow me to offer my counterpoint. Huh? Another theory is that the mech would hover around the outside of a fight, watching and waiting for unsuspecting prey. Evidently, Curetans have never actually seen a vulture because that's not how they behave. Regardless, the name stuck, and to this day, people will get bent out of shape if you call it anything else. Mad Dog. The impact of the design went beyond its battlefield prowess. The low-profile center torso would inspire the inner sphere to innovate. Well, if you can call the Bushwhacker innovative, anyway. While other mechs like the Mad Cat were certainly more famous, the Mad Dog is widely considered to be one of the most effective machines of the clan invasion. Its ability to keep the enemy at a distance and rain hell down upon them made it a deadly foe, especially considering that clan LRMs can shoot much further than their inner sphere equivalents. In other words, it's a great mech for people who don't like getting shot at. I'm sure my inner sphere friends are nodding along in approval, but I can feel the clanners bristling as I've effectively just called them cowards. Get fucked, you overgrown petri dishes.
That's what I thought. You're a gutless turd.
In proper hands, the Mad Dog has become a favorite across civilized space. Its combination of speed and firepower make it a solid option for Curetan honor duelists and Steiner Nepo babies alike. It's a great mech for those who want to make a name for themselves, especially if they're too lazy to actually go out and earn it. For mercenaries like myself, I mean, come on, the thing costs as much as 2 stalkers and requires omnipod infrastructure just to keep it maintained. In the end, like most things clan-related, that's the Mad Dog's one true weakness. It's a logistical nightmare. Whether you're a clanner hauling spare parts across half a galaxy or a spheroid trying to keep his army supplied, the Mad Dog has a nasty habit of becoming a hangar queen. Everything breaks eventually, and while omnipods make repair and refit faster, the reliance upon specially manufactured modules means that you can't just slap a salvage servo onto it and call it a day. Omnimechs require proper facilities and a robust supply line, luxuries that simply don't exist on most inner sphere battlefields. In the end, this is what doomed the invasion to failure, because a sword is only as strong as the arm that swings it, and after years of Rosselhog insurgents blowing up their supply lines, the Ghost Bears had a hell of a time keeping their Mad Dogs in the field. It's a duelist's delight, but for a proper army, it's a damned liability. So that's the Mad Dog. It's a heavy mech that does its job and does it well. Its silhouette strikes instant paralyzing fear into the hearts of many a veteran mech warrior. It can kill you no matter where you are, and it's a bitch to try and get into engagement range with. On the battlefield, there are few things that can match it, but unfortunately, wars are won off the battlefield as much as on it. Its demanding upkeep is a true Achilles heel, to the point where most militaries are better off selling the salvage to a museum or a Solaris stable, after stealing all the lasers and missiles, of course. It's a monster in the right hands, but as time marches on, you can expect to see it less and less. At the end of the day, though, it has an important lesson to teach us. Clanners suck, and their honor system is fake and gay. Thank you all so much for watching, and special thanks to the Mech Warriors on Patreon. Freedom Fighter Gunboy, Lord Pterodax, Hadrian Solus, Lucen Dacier, Desert Dragon, Lil Grunt 1, Rostran Targo, Zero, Sean Herr, Delphino, Miguel Batacan, Alexander Heimerl, Chef Sung, Delta 505, Military Sticks, Spacer, Arc Raider, Rivius, Kyle Vidari, Metal Dragonar, Tim Cook, Tamayoga Tudor, Gary Moses Sweeney, Admiral Chirino, Gatecastle, Z, Julian Tumkala, Paul DeVere, and The Fighting Fish. Your support keeps the lights on here at Mage HQ, and your contribution is always greatly appreciated. Thank you once again for watching, and until next time, this is Mage Leader, signing off.